Before we dive in, hit subscribe to the Ascent for more real stories that change the way you see success. They said dropping out of college was the end of his future. But Bill Gates turned that risk into the foundation of a tech empire. This is the story of a relentless visionary who reshaped the world, not just through technology, but through the courage to challenge expectations. Picture a quiet evening in Seattle. A young boy sits hunched over a clunky computer, the blue glow of the screen illuminating his determined face. Bill Gates, even as a child, was captivated by the magic of code. While other kids played outside, he lost himself in lines of programming, rearranging the future with every keystroke. Computers were rare in the 1970s, but Gates was relentless. He convinced his school to let him and his friends spend hours in the computer lab. It was here that the seeds of Microsoft were quietly sown. As Gates grew, so did his ambitions. He devoured books, loved solving puzzles, and dreamed of the possibilities technology could unlock. When he entered Harvard, the world saw another bright student destined for academic greatness. But Gates saw something else, a rapidly changing world on the verge of a digital revolution. He spent his nights not at parties, but at the university's computer center, pushing the limits of what those machines could do. It was during these late nights, in the hum of cooling fans and the gentle tapping of keys, that he realized his future might not follow the path everyone expected. The turning point came when Gates, along with his childhood friend Paul Allen, read about the release of the Altair 8800, one of the first personal computers. Gates saw an opportunity to build software for this new wave of personal computing. It was a gamble. He was risking an elite education for the wild, uncertain world of startups. Friends and family worried he was making a huge mistake. But Gates, driven by an unshakable vision, made the leap. Dropping out of Harvard, he and Allen poured everything into a fledgling company they called Microsoft. The early days were anything but glamorous. Their first office was cramped and chaotic, but alive with energy and ambition. Gates and Allen worked around the clock, fueled by caffeine and an unyielding belief in their mission. They weren't just writing code, they were crafting the future. Microsoft landed its first big break when it signed a deal with IBM to supply the operating system for the company's first personal computer. Gates, ever the strategist, made a decision that would define the company's trajectory. He retained the rights to license the software to other manufacturers. This single stroke of business genius laid the groundwork for Microsoft's domination of the PC industry. But the path to success was anything but smooth. As Microsoft grew, so did the competition. Giants like Apple and IBM fought fiercely for their share of the market. Gates faced lawsuits that threatened to unravel everything he'd built. Accusations of monopolistic practices, courtroom battles that made headlines around the world. The pressure was immense. Every decision was scrutinized, every failure magnified. But Gates didn't back down. Instead, he treated each setback as fuel for innovation. With every challenge, he pushed Microsoft to evolve, refining Windows, expanding into new software, and embracing the internet revolution before many others saw its potential. Gates's leadership style was famously intense. He demanded excellence, challenging his teams to think bigger and move faster. Yet he also inspired loyalty, because he never asked anything of others that he wasn't willing to do himself. He was the first in and the last to leave, always searching for the next breakthrough. Under his guidance, Microsoft became not just a company, but a force that transformed work, communication, and creativity for millions. But Gates's story didn't end with wealth and business triumphs. As Microsoft soared, so did his vision for impact beyond the boardroom. In the early 2000s, Gates made the bold decision to step down from the day-to-day running of Microsoft and focus on philanthropy. He and his wife Melinda established the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, channeling his fortune and intellect into some of the world's greatest challenges, combating disease, improving education, and expanding access to technology in underserved communities. Where others saw insurmountable problems, Gates saw puzzles waiting to be solved. He applied the same analytical rigor to global health as he did to software, funding research for vaccines, supporting education initiatives, and advocating for policies that could lift millions out of poverty. His TED Talks and public appearances became rallying cries for innovation with a purpose, urging the world not just to dream, but to act. Through it all, Gates has remained a figure both admired and debated. His journey from a Seattle kid obsessed with computers to a college dropout risking everything to the world's richest visionary is a testament to the power of bold thinking and relentless drive. Gates proved that sometimes the biggest risks create the biggest opportunities. His story isn't just about wealth, it's about vision, resilience, and using one's gifts to leave a lasting impact. So, what can we learn from Bill Gates? That the path to success is rarely straight. That setbacks aren't the end, but the beginning of innovation. That true visionaries see opportunity where others see risk. And that changing the world starts with believing you can. If Bill's journey inspired you, share this video with someone who dares to dream big.